Hello everybody. This video I'm going to be doing live research with some of you guys on the how I accidentally came across the Antichrist, and how it's all correlated with how he's always, throughout history, he's always mass killing and enslaving either, the Jews or the rest of the world, or mass murdering for sport, basically. And as you can see, I had a couple visions, and a couple, analysis that I did on why Saturn is the way it is right now, and the black cube. The black cubes represent the abyss, basically. It represents the eternal burning hell of all the sinners, and that's where, basically, God, when He was here and trying to give us His word, the devil was tempting Him, stalking Him, trying to terrorize Him, doing all sorts of um, psychological operation on Jesus to make Him submit to his system of slavery, and religious. And Satan was always behind Hebrews, and always behind also the basically the world government. Not only the Hebrews, but the Roman Empire, as well as the Masonic orders of the world. He was able to subvert nations to worship him, even religions. So the black cube of Saturn, look at this. The black cube of Saturn. I released this video a long time ago. Now a lot of people are talking about this, which is very interesting, how mainstream media is finally picking up. Hey, after 5 years, 10 years, people are finally waking up. Jeez, man, come on now, son, keep up. See how this is Mecca and the black cube of Saturn. The black cube of Saturn is basically this. The black cube is your television, TV. Your TV is a square. The Masonic, orders are all making the perfect square, making the perfect society and all that. The Hebrews are worshiping the square, basically, as well. And Mecca is a square as well, that represent the abyss, the Antichrist, sitting on the throne of Saturn. Saturn is basically spins around in a circle. All the people that sold their souls, all the old gods of this world, was cast out of here. All the ghost stories, all these, demonic entities that people have stories of and that they heard, they saw, and all that, they were casted out of this world and put in the square of Saturn, the abyss. Basically, the abyss is where all the nightmares are stuck in. And the Hebrews use the square to curse their enemies, basically. And it's not just the Hebrews, because Rothschild, when they took over Israel, they made sure they were gonna terrorize the Israeli people for eternity, because they can't get rid of them. It's hard to get rid of Jews, I tell you what. Hitler tried, Stalin tried, the Rothschild tried. Jews just don't want to give up. They want to live. They want to see the truth. They want to see the Messiah. But the world elites put them in a cube, which represent the abyss, terror. Look, terror, 6666666. It's always 6666666. The cube represents the abyss, the eternal burning hell of this world. How I accidentally came across this. Let's see here. Look at the children of Saturn. basically, there you go, right here. The child of Saturn, and then the god of Saturn, it basically has a staff, right? Let's see here. The Saturn's always devouring its children because it's too jealous. Look at this. See the sickle here, the communist sickle, and the dragon representing the Chinese. See if we can get close to this here. See this? Capricorn, Aquarius, Saturn with the sickle, and usually he has another staff with a hammer, and he has the dragons that represents the Communist Party and the Socialist Party of the world. Under Saturn is the armies and the populations of the world. You see this right here that represents Saturninus in freaking Latin. See here is the Saturn planet, and the planets right here, and this is under Saturn is all of his servants. Look at this, worshipping Saturn. All these places worshipping Saturn. There you go, Saturn devouring its child with the sickle. Where's the sickle and the hammer? There it is. But this time he has not only the sickle, he got the time. And where's the hammer? I gotta find another picture of Saturn's hammer, which is a staff basically. There it is. See right here? The hammer? Right here. See this? This represents the hammer and the sickle. You put this hammer in here and you get a perfect socialist communist ideology. You see the sickle right here? All you gotta do is just put the hammer right there and you get the, let's look at the USSR flag. Look at that. A star, a sickle, and a hammer. And communism is always killing its own children, its own people. So see the dragon representing the Chinese, the Communist Party of the world. It's always two dragons, it's the communists and the socialists. It's the same. Saturn, it's an ideology warfare against the population, and it's always an ideological. See right here how the child is like, it's an ideological subvertive destruction of good and the children of the world basically. See how he's sitting on the top of the world, the child here. It's like having a really bad day, and Saturn is devouring its own children. See that? And Saturn is basically the Antichrist, folks. See right here? Children of Saturn. See right here? And the symbol of the triangle that represents also a square right here. Look, a square and the little circle of inside Saturn that also represent pedophilia. See right here, Saturn sitting with a staff and sickle and a hammer, and the beast having a blast here with all of these followers, these demonic entities. So yes, the Saturn, the square of Saturn, represents Kabbalah, represents the Jewish religion. The Jews also have the little thing where they can put the candles on fire, and it looks like a fork, like a staff that represents the basically the terror of the world. The Antichrist has one of those staffs where it has the little things like this. Let's look at the devil's staff. Would it be staff? Would that be? Oh, here it is. You see that? But it has more than that. Basically, it has. It's not just three. It's multiple. You have like multiple things to push down the population back into the abyss with fire on the tip. See right here, the little tip? It represents fire basically. It looks just like a little candle. You just lit that on fire and then you push your children back into the abyss. That represents this right here, the Saturn cube. And if you go to intelme.com, I'm not sure if I uploaded yet, but it should be there right here. The difference between, look, see right here. Oh yeah, let me show you the Nazi symbol. I don't know how to spell swastika. Swastika. I'm not a Nazi. Sorry, guys. It's hard to spell. Here's the Nazi flag. Oh, here it is. You see the Nazi flag? Like the Antichrist have a very fancy way of tricking his followers. See the Nazi swastika right here? Let's look for a 90-degree swastika. .360. 90-degree 360 swastika. There it is. So, there we go. So basically, the swastika represents the circle of Saturn and represents the sun as well. You see how like everything is red, like super red, representing the sun, the burning sun, and the inside is the light, basically, like the light of the sun, the eternal burning hell. And you have a 90-degree, you got 180-degree, and then 270, and then 360-degree. So basically what you have right here is 90-degree, 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 and then 90-degree. That adds up to 360 degrees. It represents the circle of the sun and the eternal burning hell. That represents Saturn, the square of Saturn. See how the flag is a perfect square on the circle right here, and then the sun, the eternal burning hell of the abyss of the sun. And when you hail Hitler like this, when you hail Hitler like that, it is a perfect 33-degree angle. See right here? Angle 33. So let's look at Hitler's, what's Hitler's height? What was Hitler's height? Hitler was like 5'9", right? So Hitler was a 5'9". So if you're a 5'9", and then you hail Hitler like that, it's a little bit taller than you. Okay, so like when you hail, I'm 6, so I'm a little bit taller than Hitler, but like a little bit, almost there. But when you hail Hitler, it's a little bit taller than you are. That every time you see how the angle right here, like let's say this is where my head is, right? Okay, like this is where my head is, and the 33-degree between my body and the top of my hand, see the little arrow right here, represents me hailing the swastika. Basically, when you hail the swastika, you are, see right here, the swastika in the on the circle. When you hail Hitler to the swastika like this, you are reaching into the eternal burning hell of Saturn. You are reaching out. You are putting your hand and reaching out, trying to reach out for the Antichrist, like like I support, when you have the swastika over there, and then you put your 33-degree hand like that, and then that basically represents you reaching out to the abyss, represents you reaching out to the eternal burning hell of Saturn. Okay, so if you go to intelme.com right here, when you reach intelme.com, you go to, where was it at? Right here. No, go on search and type in "know what is radical left before it's too late." I put that video on there. Know what is radical left before it's too late. You see how the swastika and the two parties was basically the same thing. Okay, they were both worshiping Saturn. They were both worshiping the Antichrist, and they were both basically having all the symbolism. See the stars and everything else, the hammer, and everything's literally the same. And then they were sending out their children into the eternal burning hell, called the Holocaust, that literally translate to burn offering. They were giving out a burning offering to their gods of Saturn, taking millions. We're talking half of the population, folks. Half of the population of this world as a burning offering to the god of Saturn. And then you look at those art, by Lady Gaga, and those fancy little arts that they put out, slaughtering kids, and then having a bat with blood, and having all these weird stuff. Basically, they're being right in front of your face about what they believe in and what they worship. Basically, is Saturn. If you look at the old religion, the entire Jewish religion is really bankrupt. It's dirty. The entire Jewish religion and every single ritual that they have is dirty. It's extremely diabolical, and people are not paying attention to this. And when the Jews have their firstborn kids, they have a ritual where they take the tip of their boys' penis, and then they circumcise the child. The child is just like starts screaming in tremendous fear, pain, and screaming on top of his lungs like, "What did you just do to my penis? It hurts, it burns, and everything." And then once the child is releasing that adrenaline, the adrenochrome, the rabbi goes over there and then literally sucks on the blood that's coming out of that circumcised child's penis, basically. And they get high off of that. It's basically devouring, and it's dirty because you're devouring your own child's in a sexual way, completely satisfying the god of Saturn. I accidentally came across the Antichrist, and he's over here. He's been following me for a while now. Come on, Antichrist, you can do better than that. If you want to trick me, if you want to do all this little fancy little, trickery that you play around with, come on, man, you can do something better than that. You know that I'm extremely smart. You know who I am. You know where I come from. You lost your memories. You lost everything. And you're still lost. And let me tell you something. You don't know me. You don't know where I come from, what my past history was. And there's something coming for you, and you're already seeing the real, prophecies of God. Because Jesus is coming, and he's already giving all of us, his followers, the signs. But I'm not Mr. Holy Holy. Hey, don't say that I'm Mr. Holy Holy, because I'm a sinner. And I am a sinner. Okay? There is no escape. I am here and I am a sinner, and I'm not gonna lie about me being Mr. Holy Holy and trying to prophesize about something that I came across. God showed me this, and I released this a very long time ago, and now a lot of people are picking up. And I'm not Mr. Holy Holy, so don't follow me. Follow God. Okay, Jesus is here. Jesus is choosing His people to give out messages, to show miracles, show that He's real, and don't follow me, okay? Trust God. God has like a very warming love for you. You just don't know yet because you're so distracted by the box, the square on your TV, on your cell phone. It's always a square, a square, a square. It's always a square, keeping you, blind from the true. You're always in that television, the god of Saturn showing you a vision. It's always like that. It's always a square. On TV, they're always feeding you fear. They're always feeding you division. They're always feeding you the illusion that the enemy is out there to get you right behind you. They're always selling you the idea that this party's right, this party's wrong. Look at this retard. Look at this. This is funny. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Saturn is very jealous of his own child. He's trying to control your mind. So, and always put you in fear. I had a vision about Saturn. Saturn is freaking depressing. It's very depressing. All the old gods, all the people who sold their soul, all the people that, did all this crap here in this world, including Hitler and Stalin and all of his followers, the god of Saturn took their eyes out. They have no eyes, and their freaking lips are closed like this. And what they're thinking about is that they're following Saturn in a circle, and the circle of Saturn in that storm is like Saturn's a big massive storm, and it's always like it's like, and in the middle of Saturn there's a diabolical being that transcended. I was able to transcend inside the abyss one time to figure out what the hell is going on there. And basically there's a demon in the center of Saturn with a flute, playing a very depressing flute, like, and all the people that were following Saturn, all those burnt offerings that they give to just Saturn, is basically those people are blind and have no voice, and they're inside a dream where they're like they're the gods of basically their own basically their wishes that they were asking for Saturn to give to them. The only thing that they got was blindness, no mouth, and basically all they see in their mind is nightmares, and it's a fake world inside their little vision, their television inside their mind. So they're just walking around like zombies inside Saturn, hearing this really depressing sound. They don't know where they're going. They just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and the flute, they're just following the music basically, and they go in an never-ending storm of darkness, and super depressing, super depressing. Saturn's the worst planet ever. If I could nuke Saturn, I would, right at the center. But then again, I don't want all that crap spreading all over the universe, so it's better to just leave them there. So that's my research and how I came across the Antichrist. He manifests his energy over, through the frequencies of Saturn, and the planetary gravitational beaming. And since we are calling back to Saturn right here using the black cube, basically, the Mecca is always worshiping Saturn the same way the lost, children of Saturn are circling around. We are practicing the same ritual here on this planet, giving Saturn, look at this, all over the world, giving Saturn total access to putting us on a trance. See right here, the square of Saturn. See the eyes right here, and the snake. See how the snake, the two worlds, representing the two worlds, and then the square of Saturn, and multiple layers, multiple dimensional layers of Saturn, and this right here as well. Basically, it put you on a spike inside your head. Like how Jesus had a spike. So when they were torturing Jesus, they put a spike on his head, just like the Jewish symbol, and then they basically nailed Jesus into a cross. The cross that can be folded into a square as well. Look, Saturn, black cross. Oops, my internet went out. Very, very typical. They always do that when I say something serious. But since my internet is gone right now, I'm still on recording. It's just that AT&T can listen to me very, very well. So anyway, I do not know why they kicked me out of the internet. It's very strange. It was automatically disconnected. It usually had an automatic reconnect settings, but anyway, now that I'm back online, look, cross. Oh, there you go. And look at the Masonic symbol. See the Masonic symbol on the dollar bill as well. And look at the cross right here. It represents fear, represents the abyss. You see the spikes that they put on Jesus' head, and then they put terror inside his head, basically. And then the cross represents the Saturn. Basically, it sacrificed Jesus into the abyss. See right here, the square of Saturn on top of the man's head, basically. See that? And it's also on Kabbalah. A bunch of idiots worshipping the Kabbalah. And they even have a little map. Where's the map at? See right here? Moon, Leo, Scorpio, Mercury, and blah blah blah. And then Saturn right here on the center. And then the square represents the sun, like I was saying, represents the burning eternal hell of Sun, Jupiter, Mars, and the Milky Way. So everything inside the galaxy, the eternal burning hell of fire. See that? All these black cubes, all these, Masonic Jews, all worshipping Saturn. You Jews better get right with Jesus Christ, motherfuckers. Look at this. They even have a little square on top of their head. Look. Morning prayer. Oh, right in the morning. Look at that. They put right on their arm, and then they focus all the energy into the ever-burning hell of Saturn. Look at the cross right here. Look at that. Look at the Saturn, the hammer and the sickle, representing communism. And look, God put a ring around Saturn so that Saturn can never, ever, ever, come out of there. The abyss cannot be in here on this planet. And look at this, the Twin Towers, they put a huge manifestation of New York's energy into Saturn, and then they blew up the Twin Towers. And look at this, Mecca, where everybody worship. Look, the Twin Tower was, see, they sacrificed the Twin Towers and put a square cube right at the Twin Towers. Donald Trump, the same thing. Look, Trump Tower, a huge square. Look, Revelation 12, New Jerusalem. And he carried away in the spirit a mountain great and high, and showed the holy city of Jerusalem coming down out of the heaven from God. And what kind of God, huh? What kind of heaven? I don't see no heaven over there in Saturn. It's the glory of God, and the brilliance was a precious jewel and a crystal. The city was laid out as a square, as wide and high, as long as the city, and its great street were made of pure gold, as gold was as transparent as glass. That's a lie, folks. Heaven is not inside the abyss. Heaven is not inside the abyss. There is nothing but terror and nightmares inside the abyss of the ever-eterning burning hell of Saturn. You know, the freaking Nazis were very, very, very straightforward about that, you know, giving out the offerings of the Jewish people into the Saturn as a Holocaust, as a great offering. See the square and the sickle, the little girls, you know, smiling. Look at that. Look, a freaking eagle, like the phoenix rising from the eternal burning hell of fire. Look at that. Be very aware of what you're dealing with. The Jews were wrong about everything. The Jews were wrong about everything. Jesus is your only Savior. And heaven is not inside the abyss. Okay? You people are being lied to. You're being followed. You know, like the Pied Piper who's singing. Follow me, follow me, follow me. And put you in a cave and then shut you in there forever and ever and ever. Just like the abyss. So don't follow the Pied Piper. Don't follow the trendy stuff on social media. Don't follow, you know, what the Jews are doing just because they're offering you money, they're offering you a vision, they're offering you the fake, you know, trickery and subversion of what, you know, that doesn't represent what God, you know, is. And Jesus is coming back, and he's probably going to come back straight out of the abyss. I have a good feeling that Jesus is going to come right out of the abyss because he had to go back and show the children of Saturn, give them a chance to redeem and come back and then go to heaven. So Jesus never forgave those who never had a chance to redeem themselves. So I'm pretty sure when Jesus transcended into Saturn and all over the universe, he was able to go in there for a very, very long time. He's probably, you know, in a trance, sleeping right now. Not sleeping, but his eyes shut and just transcending his holy grace and the Holy Trinity, trying to direct his child, his followers, his children about his coming. And he's already giving miracles. He's already giving a lot of chosen, you know, his followers, his loyal people. Even the wrong ones, but they're chosen somehow. That he's coming and he's going to give you, you know, the chance to redeem yourself again. Jews are going to have another chance to redeem themselves. After this, it's over. It's over. For all of you Jews and you Muslims out there and everybody else, redeem yourself before it's too late.